Morning everybody, it's John Mew speaking here. It's now 4 years since I was assessed and diagnosed with PTSD. I think I've come a long way since then, but I want to go back to when I was having my therapy, and I want to think about a few things, and I want to bring up something that is very close to my heart. First of all, I want to read out the poem that I wrote when I was up there, when I was in my darkest hour. Right. This is the poem, and this was I wrote this to my wife and my 3 children. I love you through my anger and between my fits of rage. I want us to be happy, but I struggle to turn the page. I see you're the answer to everything I prayed. I then get mad and leave the room. I wish I had stayed. My love just wants to hold your hand, but my anger doesn't care. I feel the weight you carry. It isn't really fair. I gave my country everything the day I went to war. Thought the cost would be my life, but it turned out to be more. I look into my children's eyes, it isn't really fair. I'm in my own dark world, they think I do not care. I found the help after 30 years. Hollybush House, thank you, you're the ones who care. Christine, Francesca, Elliot and Larry too, your husband and dad loves you so true. Since that moment, I've had all sorts of help, but what I want to bring into attention is, and it really hurts me, this one, is who's going to look after the wives and the children or siblings of somebody who's been diagnosed with PTSD, who gets all the help very quickly through veterans charities, and the help to move on and forward, whereby you look at the families, where do they get the help from? If I go back to just after my therapy up in Scotland, I actually did a video on Facebook because I had a flashback. That actual video had to date has had 9,500 hits. I think it was 5,500 after 2 days. And what I want to bring up is that what I want to bring up is my wife and children. You know, they've had to suffer for years through obviously the way I've been. And I do know that at the same time my wife was diagnosed with bipolar. Now, you look at my side of things. I got the help through SAFA, Ford Assist. I also got help through Newcastle Rugby Foundation. I was steered in right directions. I was assessed. I went to numerous sort of workshops. I've had Ford Assist, a local charity up in Newcastle. They've got a wonderful walk-in centre where you can walk in any time and you can open up, you can talk, you can speak to them, and they can guide you in lots and lots of different directions. I mean, at the minute, I'm under REMDR therapy. Over the course of the past couple of years, I've been introduced to a life coach, Polly Brennan. She steered me in certain directions, and I ended up 2 years ago doing the SS selection route for charity, and this year I did Hadrian's Wall west to east, and basically between them I've raised nearly £10,000 for charity. After the Hadrian's Wall challenge, SAFA invited me onto a tall ship sailing, a tall ships, STS Lord Nelson, and it was full of veterans, and we were supposed to go to Normandy, but because of the rough seas, etc., we didn't make it. But we had a good go, but it ended up obviously in 70-mile-an-hour winds, gale force 10 plus. We couldn't make headway, so we came back. But it was a wonderful adventure. When you go back to overall the whole thing and you look at it, I've constantly had help. I've constantly been looked at. There's so many people that I can get in touch and speak to. But the big thing that I want to bring up is, I mentioned before, my wife was diagnosed with bipolar. Right, she's had no help. She spent 2 years trying to get medication right. There's been no follow-ups, no contact. So it really annoys me that, and I think it annoys her too, that I can get all this attention and help, whereby she's just stuck in her own little world. She's got issues just like I have. She's got nobody she can go to, nobody she can talk to. And I think it's, because I'm ex-military, right, you've got that bond, and we showed it on that STS Lord Nelson ship. But unfortunately, wives and children, they don't get that help. They have to go through the NHS, or you can go through veterans charities, and they can, steer in the right direction, but you end up back on the NHS, and then you get passed from pillar to post. So in effect, God bless her, my wife, 4 years on, and she's had no therapy. She's had no referrals, no comebacks, and it's same for children. It really, really annoys me. So what I want to do is I want to get this word out, right? And I want to get as many people as possible, right, to share this, right, so that, it comes out in the open, because it's not fair. The veterans can get the help, but the families who are involved with that person who's got a mental health issue, they get brushed under the table. And sometimes I think it hurts, Oh, back again. It's, I think as a military veteran, my traumas have not only affected me, but they've impacted on my wife and my family. If you're a veteran or mental health charity, please think about how you can help the family. It's time to support the supporters, because for a long time, my wife Christine has been a carer really for me. She's been my rock, and it could have come at the cost, of our own mental health as well, and that includes the children. So please, please get this out. I'm going to finish it there then, but just please remember, let's spread this word out. Let's get this out. It's not just the veterans, it's families as well, because they need the help. They can't continue suffering in silence when I can go down to Ford Assist. I can go and have a chat and a cup of coffee with people, and we can talk about our issues. And surely, that is what we did on the Lord Nelson, because we had no contact with the outside world, and it really, really bonds people. So that was great. But come on, let's do what we can, and let's look after the families of veterans as well. Right, thank you. Bye bye.